To start off, this is not going to be a review of the Godzilla movie. I'm not going to be talking about the storyline, the acting, the cinematography, the soundtrack, which for some reason you people care about. I don't know why. I'm sure there are other videos out there that'll cover the movie or review the movie. The purpose of this video is, to be quite honest, it's going to be mostly therapeutic for me because I'm going to be ranting about all the stupid and fail in this movie. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll start off, I'll extend an olive branch. Okay? My expectations going into this movie is not necessarily going to be the same expectations you had going into this movie, or that other people had going into this movie. I understand that. I agree. However, one of my expectations for this movie was, I don't know that Godzilla would play a major role in a movie that has his name in the goddamn title. And if for some reason you didn't have the expectation of Godzilla playing a major role in a movie that has his name in the goddamn title, why did you go see a Godzilla movie? I mean, is this like a repeat from the 2014 one? Because I didn't see the 2014 movie because I saw the trailer and I went, no, I want to see a Godzilla movie, not a Bryan Cranston vehicle film. So I didn't see that one. The trailer on this movie, however, kind of gave the impression that, maybe Godzilla is going to actually have screen time in this one. And in regards to the screen time, there was the complaint in 2014 how Godzilla had such little screen time, like 10 minutes or something, and that they listened to the complaints, and Godzilla's going to have more screen time in the 2019 film. More screen time, huh? See this? I actually calculated and counted the screen time that Godzilla had in this movie. Yes, I'm being over-attentive. Shut up, leave me alone. I counted out Godzilla's screen time in the 2019 movie. Do you want to know what it was? 7.5 goddamn minutes. Screw you, movie. 7.5 minutes. Now, I'll concede that maybe my calculations were wrong, but until I get some clarification or other more accurate counts, I'm counting it as 8 minutes. 8 minutes. Hey, movie producers, come here. 8 minutes is less than 10 minutes. Like, is your math skills just as pathetic as your ability to make Godzilla movies? And not only that, is Hollywood somehow contractually obligated to make Godzilla movies that suck? Because what are they, like 3 for 3 so far? Jesus Christ. To give like maybe a rough background on my Godzilla, I am, at best, a casual Godzilla fan. I saw maybe 12 plus movies, and the only ones I ever really liked was the original one from 1956, I think, I'm not 100% sure, and Shin Godzilla. Those are the only two I ever liked. Okay, I liked Godzilla 2000, but only because it was campy, it was purposefully like, I liked it for the campiness, not because, well, whatever. So I'm just trying to give you like an idea of how I went going into this movie, that I'm not a huge Godzilla fan, I know very little of the trivia, whatever. Again, I'm rambling, sorry. But why was Godzilla and the Titans relegated to background story? Because they were. Other than the, 2 or 3 fights, yay, thanks. For the most part, Godzilla and the Titans were kind of like in the background because they were focusing on the human. Okay, directors, come here. I have a question for you that maybe, please answer this for me. Is there any particular reason, okay, you couldn't have a fight scene in this movie or any scene with the Godzilla or Ghidorah or Mothra that could last 7 seconds without being interrupted by some humans running around, screaming, shouting, whatever? I don't care about the humans. I don't give a damn about the humans. You want to know why? Because you didn't even give us a reason to give a damn about the humans. They were a waste of my life. They were a waste of this movie. Okay. It's a Godzilla movie. Can we have, like, I don't know, 2 minutes of seeing Godzilla fighting Ghidorah? Every 7... I actually did the math. I literally did the math. Do you want to know what the longest uncut scene of Godzilla being of screen time is? At the very end of the movie when Godzilla is standing around and all the other 17, well, 3 because the other ones apparently couldn't show up, are walking up to Godzilla, and then Rodan, being the little bitch that he is, bows to everybody. That's the longest screen time, uncut screen time of Godzilla. Okay? There's only one fight scene that lasted 19 seconds without interruption. Otherwise, the average was like 5 to 10, so I said 7. That's literally the average screen time before you pull away. I didn't even get a chance to enjoy the fight scene, even when you did have one, because anyway, there wasn't that much stupid, but it was just so much fail that I'm going to try and deal with that as we go along. And anyway, to be quite honest, the most interesting part of the movie was seeing Josh Lyman. If you know who he is, he's from The West Wing. That was the highlight of this movie, to be quite honest. I like The West Wing. Leave me alone. The plot twist. Okay, I'm going to be jumping around probably because this is unedited, unscripted. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing, if you couldn't tell. The whole Emma, the mother, plot twist that, oh, we thought she was captured, but oh no, she's actually really working for the eco-terrorist. I don't know what his name is. I don't care what his name is. Okay, let me break this down on how this plot device or plot twist does not work. We're supposed to assume that she was being kidnapped. So the eco-terrorist, okay, wanted to steal the orca. Now, we end up finding out that she actually is working with the eco-terrorist, which means they could have taken the orca at any time. Okay? But you're going, oh, they needed to find out if it would work first. Yeah, okay. They could have brought it to Ghidorah. Ghidorah was encased in ice. You could have done it just as easily and tested to see if it was, what is it called, the bio waves, the biosonar. I don't care. It was stupid anyway. It's like midichlorians as far as I'm concerned. They could have easily tested the bio waves on the frozen Ghidorah just as easily on the Mothra. So that whole fake, let's pretend she was kidnapped scene was bullshit. Okay? Then it was discovered that Ghidorah isn't even an actual Titan, but an alien that landed on this planet. So how did the biowave, how did the orca work on him? Oops. It shouldn't have. But apparently the writers and the directors didn't really notice or pay attention or care. And I'll probably get, no, I'm going to get to this. I'm not going to jump that much. And the thing with Ghidorah, other than the big background shot scenes which were specifically designed as wallpaper, to be quite honest, you hardly ever see Ghidorah's body. All it is just three heads on screen. Why? I mean, the few times that you do see it, it just looks like a head and wings. And the tail. This is a minor thing, I understand, but when you first see Ghidorah rising, right, you see the tail, and I'm thinking, oh, great, they're going to actually have the tail be part of the fight scene. Nope! Never see it again. Again, it's a small thing, but it's to show that the directors and the writers really don't know what they're doing. Gee, where have I heard that before? And the whole symbiotic relationship thing. Okay. The whole justification, what's the name of this stupid? Monarch. Monarch's whole defense is that we should be able to, we can live in a symbiotic relationship with the Titans. Yeah, as their food source. That's, in a symbiotic relationship, both sides have to gain something. Okay? For the Titans, we're their food. That's our benefit to them. What's their benefit to us? So this whole symbiotic relationship bullshit, I mean, what did they do? See Venom and think that's what a symbiotic relationship is? I don't know. And then they're going, oh, we believe that some of them are benevolent. How? What? No, there's nothing to justify that. But they needed to add that so that you could go, oh, this is why we're trying to keep them alive. By pulling some bullshit. And then they leave the hearing without any consequences. Because it's like, the senator says, I hope you understand the consequences of walking out that door. Yeah, apparently nothing. Like, then we get a bunch of world building and exposition, and again, it's not that I had a problem with it, it's just that I didn't care. I want to see, I don't know, Godzilla, Ghidorah, again, some of the other monsters that were supposed to be there. And what the hell was that Mastodon one? Again, I'm not a big Godzilla fan, so I didn't know most of them, so is that Mastodon supposed to be part of the lore? I don't know. Then we get the whole ham-fisted social commentary rammed down our throat. Is this supposed to be like an updated version of the social commentary from like the original movie? Which, by the way, I didn't even know was about the nuclear testing thing. I mean, who watches a Godzilla movie for like social commentary? I know who, but you guys can go screw yourselves as far as I'm concerned. Show of hands, how many people saw like the old Godzilla movies and went, oh, this is all about nuclear testing and the evils of it? Nobody did. You don't watch it. You have to be told later on by some reviewer who, had to find some. I don't care. Okay, the point is that, and the irony is, in the 50s, okay, they at least knew how to do it subtly or whatever, but apparently in Hollywood nowadays, the only way they know how to actually send a message is if they ram that damn thing down your throat, because subtly apparently is not their forte, neither is, movie writing. So now we have Rodan fighting Ghidorah in the water because they're in the plane. Rodan emerges from the volcano. Again, cool scene. I'm not going to deny it, except can we not just have, cutting away from it every 7 seconds? Whatever. So they're leading Rodan to Ghidorah, and then we get the Ghidorah fight scene, and Rodan. So while they're fighting, the military is supposed to drop an oxygen destroyer, which I actually knew. I knew that reference. Or I got that, whatever. So they're going to drop an oxygen destroyer. So Rodan falls into the water, and then Godzilla shows up. And then the bomb goes off. And did somebody forget that Rodan was actually in the blast area? Because I don't remember seeing Rodan fly off. So as far as I know, Rodan was in the water and got affected by the oxygen destroyer. But oops, he was off screen, so doesn't count, I guess. And then about Ghidorah being an alien. I have to add this. I wanted to add this. For decades, Monarch has been studying Titans. In fact, there's that one scene where the one lady is like a third generation Monarch employee. I don't know. The entire time, all that research, all that time, they never knew anything about Ghidorah. No research. But 20 minutes after Ghidorah survives the oxygen destroyer bomb, suddenly they found out information about him. They just happened to come across, the little ancient paintings, and you're pathetic. It was a joke. You're pathetic. Oh, and could they please stop using the King of Monsters when referring to Ghidorah? Okay? It's supposed to be Godzilla's movie, not Ghidorah. But every time there was a King reference, it was always... So then, this part came out of left field, which kind of threw me off. So, this is before Mothra shows up. Mark decides that he's not going to leave and go find his daughter. No idea where she is, no idea where to go, but darn it, he's going to go find her. So then he goes into the helicopter and he sits down. And it's like, did the helicopter pilot even know he was in there? It's like, it was like he just sat there, like a sad Keanu Reeves scene. And it was like, did the pilot even know he was there? And if the pilot did know he was there, where was the pilot heading? So now before Mothra shows up, you see all these ships surrounding Castle Bravo, right? Then Mothra shows up, and almost all of the ships are gone. I think there was only like 2 little blurry ships in the background, but they're gone. They're all gone because it's all about Mothra. Then the scene ends, and then you go back, and then there's the ships all back into the water. It was, and then once Mark sees that Mothra is there, it's like Maddie who? Suddenly he forgets all about his daughter. Suddenly he doesn't care about being with her. Suddenly it's all about Mothra. Sorry, Maddie. Apparently you're not as important as the movie thought you were. Speaking of Madison, this is another funny part. So she ends up hearing the plans of what's going on, and then she just leaves the base. She just walks out, and not only does she just walk out, she has the orca. How did she get the orca? Like, what'd she do? Just walk in and nobody just noticed her? She just picked it up and left? I mean, oops! Didn't think that part through, did you, movie? As opposed to any other part you didn't think through. So what's the difference? So then eventually Monarch goes looking for Godzilla under the water because they're going to try and give him nuke-to-mouth resuscitation. I don't know. But they I'm not sure because it was kind of out of left field, but they come across a hidden underground city and they just happen to just notice other Titan fossils and they just pass by convenient cave paintings. It was pathetic. It was just so, you're useless. So then they used a nuclear device on Godzilla. Now, I might be wrong because I'm basically going by my knowledge of the Arrow movie with John Travolta, but I thought that nuclear devices emit a EMP, so wouldn't that have caused the submarine to just lose all its electrical, or did they conveniently just not add that part in because it would have been detrimental to the movie? I don't know. So then Godzilla gets revived, and he breaks the surface, right? And then stands there firing that energy beam into the sky. What was Godzilla standing on? He literally breaks through the water, doesn't move or anything, and then just kind of stands there on the surface of the water, fires his energy beam, and then turns around and dives back down. What has he got, a self-inflated inflation device? I don't, just... And not only that, the director even knew it was a stupid scene because when you pan back, you see all this fog covering the water conveniently so that it would obscure the fact that, Godzilla's literally just standing on water. And then you find out that then the eco-terrorist establishes that he realized that Maddie had stolen the orca, and how did he know she took the orca unless what? He let her? Then we have the stupidest line in the movie, which I think might end up becoming like a gimmick of mine now. It's when the eco-terrorist, because the mother wants to go leave to find Maddie, right? And the eco-terrorist wants to stop her. So he goes, and the reason he wants to stop her is because he goes, this was about the greater good. The planet deserved a clean slate, but now you're prepared to put all our lives in danger because your little girl is missing. You already know Ghidorah is calling out all the other Titans, and all the other Titans are rampaging around the world, and that this is now establishing the death and destruction of the world. Your lives are already in danger, but suddenly her going to find her daughter is the last straw, is too much for you? What? Do you not even know what's going on in the movie? And then he ends up letting her go anyway. So, if he ended up letting her go because we already have what we need with the orca, then why did you care about her leaving in the first place? You literally negated your own... The movie literally negated its own reason for him stopping her 10 seconds after he does it. So then we get to the final fight scene, which I guess was okay. It's just that the movie was slowly chipping away my interest and my enthusiasm and my ability to care, so that by the time the final fight scene happened, if you were able to enjoy it and you still actually had any enthusiasm in this movie, then I envy you, because I didn't, and I'm sure there was other problems in this movie, but I want to try and keep this all into one video, and I pretty much ranted out. This movie sucked, and I hated Skull Island, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna screw up King vs. Kong. But anyway, I'm out of here. See ya.